Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining us today. First off, we're glad to welcome Pensacola Mayor Grover Robinson IV, Council Member Tina Day Broughton, and Escambia, Florida District 4 Commissioner Robert Bender, and a delegation of business and tourism leaders to Savannah. And so they're meeting with people all over Savannah, seeking ideas that they can take back home. So we welcome them here to the hostess city of the South. By now, I'm sure you received information as relates to the Rock and Roll Marathon. The city of Savannah will not be entering into an agreement with the Rock and Roll Running Series for 2022. And the city will not be a host to a Rock and Roll Running Series event this year. The prior agreement ended with the conclusion of the 2020 race, and I'm sure we discussed that when we approved it last year, that this was the conclusion of the contract. Let's face it, the Rock and Roll Marathon has been a great community activity for Savannians and local businesses over the last 10 years. I have attended every single Rock and Roll Marathon, and although Mr. Meldon, the chief, would not agree, I have run and walked and crawled the marathon, the half marathon, 3 times. I finished 3 times. I have 3 medals, and I have proof that I finished. So this is just something that our community enjoys, and it's created great positive national attention for our beautiful city. And our beautiful city has been a premier backdrop for runners from around the world. We have certainly punched above our weight. We have more runners than a city of our size usually that participate, and this has been a huge boost to our local running community. However, with a new council, a new mayor, a new city manager, there are many variables that have to be contemplated in renewing an event of this scale, including the necessary public resources that it requires to manage this event and balance the disruption to residents and businesses who live along the route and the finish line. We all must remember that while this event has an impact on business, and it has an impact on tourism, and while it has an impact on the economy, it also has an impact on residents and neighborhoods and communities, and we have yet to gauge, quantify, or determine that impact. And so this is not a new conversation. We've been discussing this since last year. Many of you remember that I have committed that these large events that we're going to evaluate it to make sure that just because we've always done it is not necessarily a reason to do it. That we have to make sure that it's still meeting the needs of our entire community, including our residents. It's also noted that the city of Savannah pays $25,000 to host the Rock and Roll Marathon. We are paying to host the Rock and Roll Marathon, and we bear the entire cost of police, sanitation, traffic engineering, and etc. And we have yet really to determine what the hard cost of hosting that event for us really is. Although some folks say we'll get it back in hotel motel tax, the fact of the matter is we put that money out today. Although businesses that receive money, they receive that money today. So we really have to take a really hard look at what that is. We also want to create opportunities for many more small businesses, minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses across the city to benefit from this huge event. We've heard from small businesses across the country, from across our community that says, well, you know, when the Rock and Roll happens, I have to close. People can't get to me. And so again, this is an opportunity for us to take a step back and for us to pause. And for 2022, these impacts outweigh the benefits of having an event. Again, this is not new. I've been talking about this for quite some time, and we have been in constant contact and communication with our partners, particularly Ironman, particularly Visit Savannah, particularly our Chamber of Commerce and our local running community. While they are disappointed, and understandably so, they understand our need for continuous improvement, and our partnerships and our relationships don't change. And so they will help us, as they have in so many other things, as they have with St. Patrick's, to really help us to make sure that we have an arrangement that best fits our entire community. And so we are open to conversations. Just because our door remains open, our phones remain on, and we look forward to continue conversations with the Rock and Roll Marathon team and our tourism industry about what that partnership might look for in the future. To that end, I understood that it was actually on the Pooler City Council agenda last night. I don't know what was what came of that. So the fact was, this is not a surprise, this is not a shock. The fact is that the Rock and Roll Marathon understood really clearly from last year what our position was, and they were seeking other opportunities. So although this is new news, it's not a new conversation. And so we hope for nothing for the success of the Rock and Roll Running Series this year and every year, and we certainly look forward possibly to having it back in Savannah. Yesterday, I joined in with the city manager and his team as they launched Summer Fun and Safety 2022. I thought we were going to have some fun, and come to find out it was a press conference about fun. But this initiative really brings together the city's full complement of programs, our entire slate of things to keep our youth safe and engaged all summer long. We have to create opportunities for young people to have stuff to do, for their minds to be occupied. And so we're engaging our youth through camps, jobs, pop-up activities, and recreation. And so the departments that make these programs readily available include the Office of Community Services, Human Services, Recreation, and Leisure Services, as the city manager says, the Department of Fun, Economic Development, I guess that's the Department of Work, Workforce, Coastal, Neighborhood Safety and Engagement, ones, and the Savannah Police Department. And so this initiative not only includes current programming, but it also features the return of a previously beloved program and the addition to of some more opportunities. And again, we're very clear about this. This is available first and primarily to City of Savannah residents who pay for these types of services, and so the door of opportunity is available to them first. And then those neighbors, if they want to participate after, we have given the opportunity for our city residents, city young people to participate. They can at an additional cost. If you want a job, if you want to participate in a fun camp, if you want to learn how to be a young entrepreneur or to play in pop-up sports events, if you want to go in a 3-on-3 basketball tournament with the mayor, the city manager, and the police chief, you can do that. And we have you covered this summer. And so to find out more information on all of these things, the Savannah Summer Fun and Safety programs, we want you to visit savannahga.gov/summerfun. savannahga.gov/summerfun. And as a reminder, the City of Savannah will offer weekly youth summer camps beginning on May 31st through the end of July at select locations. And a variety of camps will be offered, including summer arts, enrichment, recreation, and athletics. Registration is open, and all camps, again, prioritize placement for Savannah residents, and we will be open to non-city residents on a space available basis at an additional cost. Parents and guardians can find out details about each camp, including ages served, camp hours, and locations by visiting, again, savannahga.gov/summerfun. The Savannah City Council continues to make significant financial investments in public safety and crime reduction with the approval of a $584,100 contract with the Youth Advocate Program to launch a local Cure Violence initiative as a part of our new Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement's efforts to stem crime among Savannah's high-risk youth. And so in this, we're using a data-driven healthcare intervention approach to curb violence among youth ages 15 to 25 by using what's called credible messengers to interrupt violence, to de-escalate conflict, and to mediate disputes that often lead to violent episodes. As I've said on many times before, we have to get in between the incident and the decision to use a gun. And so de-escalation and intervention is really the way to go. And we can't do that from the police standpoint. We have to do it from the community standpoint. So this, I think, is money well spent. We also expanded the ShotSpotter technology to every district in the city. I think it's an additional 3 miles, and we're looking to expand deeper in every district. But this was a strategic priority of the Savannah City Council, and thank you, Mr. City Manager, and Mr. Police Chief, we have gotten that done. And we're looking to find networks to expand into the city from outside of the city limits as well. So we're looking for partners. If you want to be a partner, particularly some of our larger businesses, this is an opportunity. And as you know, ShotSpotter triangulates gunshots. It allows us to respond faster, and it allows us to intervene quicker, which we know is the key to dealing with issues of gun violence. We also have had opportunities in which, because of ShotSpotter, police actually rolled into a crime in progress, and were able to effect arrests. So again, for us, it's about policing, but it's also about the tools that the police have. And so we're happy about that. We've also approved the use or the purchase of an $83,000 use of force simulator to create greater opportunities to train our law enforcement officers. Currently, we share a simulator with every other law enforcement agency in the region, and we think we just deserve our own. This, as the largest police force in our region, this creates more opportunities to train, notwithstanding the unfortunate incidents that we've had as of late, which are unprecedented. Every single day, our police officers are facing a situation of whether to use force. And by and large, our officers make the right decisions. And so this simulator will help to create muscle memory, and then it creates opportunities for us to, again, better train our officers. And so that's a good thing as well. Last week, the City Council directed the City Manager to further investigate opportunities to maintain the Johnny Mercer Theater and the Thomas Gamble Building, and to create additional needed office space at the Civic Center site while reestablishing the city plan. And you know, people are all over the place on this, all over the place. I'm sure if you ask 10 people, you have 10 different opinions. Personally, the Mercer Theater is worth saving. The Mercer Theater is worth saving. Our reality is very, very clear. The Civic Center is the public space. It's the public domain. It's affordable because it is the public space, because our business is people. And so in maintaining the Mercer, we also maintain, I believe, a tactical advantage in our local theater, performing arts, and gathering community. If we remove the Johnny Mercer Theater, then we have the 400-seat Cultural Arts Center, and then we have the 9,500-seat arena. There will be no middle, 400, 9,500. And we would absolutely, and our citizens, our residents would be subject to the Lucas and the Trustees Theater that we do not own, and will be subject to that pricing and however that goes. Also, the Civic Center has ballroom space, it has meeting space, that is the public square that people have been able to meet. And so on City Council, I disagreed with raising the entire Civic Center. I think we all agree that the arena has lived its useful life and that it needs to go. Fortunately, there's a 5-foot air wall in between the theater and the rest of the center. And I think this creates opportunities for us to even reimagine what that is. The Johnny Mercer Theater has 2,526 seats in it. And so again, with a little bit of love, a whole lot of public and private and philanthropic contributions, we can bring the Johnny Mercer Theater into its new age for additional years of splendor, and I believe that we can do that. So an opportunity for our city manager, again, we did not make any decisions, but what this does is it creates opportunity for the city manager to further invest in costs. And again, you know, it may, if it creates good cost-benefit analysis, then we'll come and make a decision. But right now, we have not made a decision other than giving the city manager direction about what path to investigate. If it doesn't work, then he'll come back to us and say it doesn't work, and we'll give him another path. But you know, we will suffer from the paralysis of analysis. That's part of what happened with the arena, why it took 20 years to build it, because we were analyzing it for 20 years. And every day the price goes up, goes up, goes up. And we've received some estimates from people that are in this business that told me that it would actually cost more than it cost to build the arena to actually raise and rebuild another theater in the same spot. And so, again, I think it's worth saving, and I'm hoping that we'll see what the city manager comes up with and his professional team as they continue to work on this. And another reminder that you can join a team of dedicated professionals known as Team Savannah. And so our Office of Human Resources will be hosting a City of Savannah hiring fair at the In-Market Arena from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on this Friday. And so the hiring event will feature a lot of different job opportunities across our organization. We are a great employer. We pay a minimum of $15 an hour. We have excellent benefits, and we have a pension. And so we want you to join the best, the brightest in the world. We want you to join the City of Savannah. Here's an opportunity for you to do so. We may not do this again, so you get there now and you know, come be a part of a great team. I'm also excited to share that Earth Day is back after a 2-year hiatus, and our continued focus on equity has led us to expand our celebration this year. So we're having 3 events at the same time between 10 and 1 p.m. on Saturday at Tatumville Park, Tribble Park, and Live Oak Park. So Tatumville Park, Joseph Tribble Park, and Live Oak Park. And so participants will enjoy food, music, bouncy houses, vendor booths, and activities centered around energy efficiency, renewable energy, clean energy job training, health, and wellness. If you want to volunteer at any of the event locations or provide a vendor booth, contact our staff at Office of Sustainability at savannahga.gov. Office of Sustainability, all spelled out, at savannahga.gov, or call 912-651-6838, 912-651-6838. As we continue our push to create more affordable housing in our community, the City of Savannah will host a series of aldermanic district meetings to discuss the current standards and identify ways to allow more flexibility for what's called accessory dwelling units. And accessory dwelling units is a structure used as an individual residential unit located on the same lot as the principal dwelling. And so, in other words, they're known as carriage houses, in-law units, secondary dwelling units, mother-in-law suites, all those types of things. And so those district meetings start tomorrow, and you can go to our homepage of our award-winning savannahga.gov, savannahga.gov. And we will have additional meetings around the community, and we will release a community survey for feedback on ADU utilization as this process continues. Finally, if you are a small business owner in Savannah and you're looking to scale your business, you're looking to network with other business owners or gain financial insight, you need to attend the Mayor's Small Business Conference. And this is absolutely free. It'll take place on Thursday, May the 5th from 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Savannah Civic Center Ballroom, and we're providing a continental breakfast. The theme this year is Business as Unusual, and the keynote speaker is Robert James II of Carbon State Bank. Registration information can be found on the homepage of savannahga.gov, savannahga.gov. So that ends my remarks for today, and I will answer any questions that you have.
Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning, sir. How are you? You look very comfortable.
Very comfortable. Repping my Gamecocks as always. I got a national championship a couple weeks ago, so can't complain.
Be careful walking ahead like that.
Yes. I take my chances.
There are bulldogs all over the place.
I know. So to start with the Rock and Roll Marathon,
Sure.
please the cancellation of that for next year.
Well, it's not a cancellation. I think that's words are very important. We don't have a contract. We fulfilled our contractual obligations to the Rock and Roll Marathon that ended last year. So it's not a cancellation. We're just not renewing the contract this year.
Are there any plans to potentially renew the contract in 2023? And if so, how different would you like it to look?
Sure. I mean, I think that's the goal. The goal, hopefully, maybe is for us to do it again. The question is, and the end game is, how do we do this in a way that reflects our current situation? A lot happens in 10 years, 11 years, 12 years. This is an opportunity for us to reconfigure some of this. I mean, first of all, we paid $25,000 for this. We've been using the same route for 10 years. Well, can we maybe consider a different route so that, we give a break to those who are impacted every year? I think there's a variety of things, but you do that by having the conversation. You don't do that by saying, all right, it's April, we gotta go ahead and get this done, get it done. No, we wanna make sure that we were fair enough to the rock and roll folks. Again, this is a conversation that's been going on now for well over a year. So when people act like they're surprised, those that have been engaged in conversations with us, and I've said this here publicly, that we would reevaluate all these big public events. And again, we're going to make sure that they still fit the need that we have here in Savannah. Our city has changed. Our city has become more dense. And again, we have to look at the disruptions that this occurs in our community. When the Rock and Roll first started, I remember they were doing community projects. They were really heavily engaged neighborhoods and local bands and things to be involved. It's not like that anymore. And so, they've changed owners. And so for us, we've changed leadership. And so it's an opportunity for us to talk and discuss and negotiate something that works for us in our present situation. I think that's prudent. I think that's fair.
Is this something you would maybe expect to have in 2023, or you wouldn't even say that? It's just kind of, you're going to take it as it comes?
We're open. We're open. The great part about partnerships and relationships is that you're always talking. And so we have a great relationship with Visit Savannah. We have a great relationship with our chamber and with our tourism community. We're here. They're still here. And so, again, they get it. They understand. Might be disappointed, but on the other end of it, we'll continue our conversations. We'll continue our partnerships, continue our relationships. I would love to see it here in 2023. But again, we have to have those conversations. We have to, whereas they can come up with a return of investment on their ends, here we have to talk about the return of investment to our communities, to our neighborhoods. We have to gauge where people are as it relates to that.
Thank you.
Thank you.